So been checking in with our local congressional delegation all week on what should happen next. Local 12's James Pilcher joins us live from downtown with an update. James, what are you hearing?
Thanks, Paula. Yesterday, I spoke to 3 Republican congressmen from our area, and including 2 who voted against certifying some of the results. Today, U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown, the Democrat from Ohio, held his media availability. He forcefully called for the removal of President Donald Trump.
Everyone who participated in this attack on our country must be held accountable. It includes the president who incited the attack. The president must not be allowed to do any more damage even for the next 12 days.
Earlier today, Brown strongly called for Vice President Mike Pence and the rest of the cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment and immediately remove President Trump from office. I asked what should happen next if the vice president refuses.
Do you think he should be impeached at this point?
I think he should be removed with the 25th Amendment. If he's not, I think we should consider impeachment very seriously.
I also asked for follow-up interviews about next steps with several area congressmen. All are Republicans. None wanted to talk today. Northern Kentucky's Thomas Massey told me he's waiting to see if there's any more fallout. But late yesterday, Congressman Steve Chabot of Westwood told me President Trump's actions helped spark the violence.
His words, whether intentionally or not, certainly played a role in what happened down the street at the Capitol.
U.S. Senator Rob Portman, another Republican from here in the Cincinnati area, declined interviews today. But he issued this statement pointing out the president acknowledged an orderly transfer of power on Inauguration Day. Quote, "Now is the time to bring our polarized country together and ensure an orderly transition of power in 12 days. As for others in Congress who might have fanned the flames, Brown said Senators Ted Cruz of Texas and Josh Hawley of Missouri have blood on their hands.
I think we think seriously, what's next? Do we call for their expulsion? Do we censure them? What do we as a caucus, what do we as a Congress do? I don't think we know the answer to that yet, but it's clear that they played to this crowd.
Now, when I talked to Senator Brown, when he talked to the media, that was well before the reports that came out that impeachment was being considered. Now, the congressman also I tried to get in touch with today included Brad Winstrup of the East Side and Warren Davidson of the northern suburbs. Now, one story from Senator Brown that he told today, he was driving home yesterday from D.C. and he stopped at a gas station. He actually met 4 women who were bragging about having broken into the Capitol. He almost introduced himself, but then he stopped short of that. He also called for an investigation into the security at the Capitol. Senator Portman also put out a statement saying he's going to call for hearings on that as well. Live from Mount Adams, James Pilcher, Local 12 News.
Thank you, James. And members of Cincinnati City Council have met in a special session and unanimously approved a resolution denouncing the riots in our nation's capital and calling for a peaceful transition to President-elect Joe Biden.
It was an attempted coup by the president, and it was an act of treason.
I think the question was beyond white privilege. There were issues of white supremacy that were evident on our nation's capital. I stood by and was watching on my television screen as I saw Confederate flags being marched through the Senate offices.
These are traitors. Traitors get shot. The woman who was breaking into our government as part of a mob of Confederates gets shot. That's what happens to traitors.